Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Mrg'S here, and welcome back to another toy review by yours truly. And today we're doing a live toy review because, yes, I just looked up yesterday that apparently you can do live streams from mobile. If you're in my sort of position with the 340 something subs that I have right now, I can do that. And the only problem is that they're going to limit. Apparently, they limit your viewer. What is it? The range, right? Um, for it. But that being said, I know it's been a while since I've done a proper video, and trust me, now that I know I can actually stream from mobile, I will be doing that more, so do bear with me. But today, if you haven't read the title of the stream already, this is going to be a Beyblade birthday review extravaganza. I got a crap ton of Beyblades over here on my right, and we're gonna blow through all of them in one massive review. So if you guys are ready, let's do this. This is gonna be a long one, let me tell you. So first up on the list is, oh Jesus, this is the Motor Strike Battle Set Stadium, guys, and oh my God, this thing is amazing. So let's get right into it. But first, before we get into the stadium, let's get into the Beyblades themselves, and we're gonna go part by part with this release. Unfortunately, I do not have a box for this set, as when I got it, it came with a standard Hasbro Amazon box. So we're just gonna have to do it this way. So first up, we have the Super King / Sparking chip for Hyperion Burn, also known as Evo. What's his name? Evo Hyperion Flamebringer. I know, really crappy name. So here it is. Kind of have to bring it up to the camera like this, but here it is. This is Hyperion 2, and really nice chip actually. Very nice colors, very nice paint to it. I do like the sort of silver, gold, and red on it. For a quick comparison, as a matter of fact, let's bring in the original Hyperion chip real quick. So, oh god, here it is. Hyperion 2. Also, thank you, Mom, for watching the stream. And yes, happy birthday to me, indeed. My god, so here is Hyperion 2. And yeah, this just looks glorious. I love the look of this design. Very, very nice. The only problem is with this release, obviously, there's no metal on the chip. As on the original release, there was real die-cast metal in this, both on the chip, the sort of insert, and the actual chip itself. Not only that, but the stickers are also pretty much gutted from this design. So, kind of a bummer. But then again, it's Hasbro, and as I keep telling you guys, Hasbro is lazy. So anyway, next up on the list is, of course, the attack ring / the just ring, which is Burn. And Burn is kind of interesting because this got heavily modified from its original release. First and foremost, Burn originally had the gimmick where it had the limit break system gimmick to it, where essentially you would launch the Beyblade, right? It would get hit twice, and then a gimmick would happen. In this case, the wings would come out, thus allowing for more aggressive attack. Now, and of course on this release they gutted that, and obviously it's been hollowed out because of it. Not only that, but all the decals it did have, and trust me, it had some really cool decals on this, have also been completely gutted. So now you're just left with this kind of gold paint. Lame. So once you put the chip into the ring, there you will have your Hyperion Burn layer. So not bad, but not great. You do have, of course, a QR code on the back, so you can scan this into your Beyblade Burst app. Also, thank you, Mom, for checking out the stream. I appreciate it. But yeah, there you go. Hyperion Burn. Very nice piece. Next up, we get the forged disc, which is 6. Now, 6, let me drive over here. 6 is not exactly accurate to the original release, as the original release, I believe, came with the Cho disc, which really sucks because on the original release, the Cho disc that came with, I'm pretty sure it was Cho. It was specially modified to work only with the limit break system bays. Those being, of course, Hyperion Burn, Helios Volcano, and Lucifer the End. But for this release, the gimmick's been gutted, and thus they've kind of put in something that somewhat looks like the actual Forge disc that it came with. So 6, not that great. This piece dates all the way back to 2017's God of Valkyrie. So yeah, this piece is significantly out of date. But hey, I'm glad they something. And of course, somebody's trying to call me during the stream. Thanks a lot, people. I know it's my birthday and all, but could you hold your calls for a minute? Anyway, because I got a video to do. But anyway, next up is my driver, or the driver for this bay, which is, of course, what is this? Exceed plus X, aka basically an upgraded version of Exceed. And yeah, this, and of course, that's the Speedstorm version, and oh god, this is bad. Yeah, it's okay, I'm sorry. I'm just, yeah, if you couldn't tell, I'm quite, there's quite a bit of activity going on off screen because, of course, it's my birthday, so obviously they got preparations for me. So because I got cake to eat later, I got a bunch of stuff to do. Not only that, but of course, if you didn't know, I'm currently still in college right now, so that's been a pain. Can my phone stop sending texts? Oh my god. Anyway, so extend plus X. There's some significant problems with this release. First and foremost, this piece is not metal like it is on the original version. It does not come off. Unlike the Helios Volcano release they did, Evo Helios Blazebringer, that one actually did have the removable component to its driver, but for some reason for Hyperion, it's permafused to it. It's really stupid. Not only that, but there's no rubber on the tip anymore, and the colors are completely off. Jeez, Hasbro. What have you done? What gift have you given us this day? And by gift, I mean, what do you want to call this? Here is the completed Beyblade altogether. So not too terribly bad. For comparison, real quick, let me bring in my Hasbro version of the original Hyperion, Super Hyperion. So that way you guys can see. And yeah, not bad, but like I said, these could have been leagues better. But then again, as you all know, Hasbro isn't exactly the best. So, or like they used to be. So moving on, let's move on to the second Beyblade in the set, which is, of course, Lucifer the End, also known as Evo Lucius Endbringer. What are these names, Hasbro? God, your naming scheme's getting worse. So, yeah, really do like this design, at least from the Takara's perspective, but of course Hasbro had to butcher it, and let's get right into it. You know what, let's not even be around the bush, let's just get right into how they butchered our poor boy, our poor Lucifer. They really butchered this guy, my god. I think this guy is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, of Hasbro's dirty work for the limit break system bays, which again, there are only 3 of them. So here we have the chip to start off with, which is of course Lucifer 2. And yeah, this chip, I'm not gonna lie, is terrible. It's awful. First of all, the holes cut off most of the motif, which is not great. And as a matter of fact, if you look here, one of Lucifer's eyes got cut off. Really, Hasbro? Really? You just completely cut off the eye. Good job, guys. Anyway, this chip also had metal on it originally. And guess what? Hasbro gutted it, as usual. Not only that, but this also had a rubber burst lock. That too, gutted. And most of the decals and paint, gutted. So what we're left with here is this husk of a thing. Okay. For a quick comparison, let's bring in Lucifer 1. From the original variant Lucifer, also known for Hasbro fans as Vex Lucius. So you bring him in there. Give a nice close-up for the camera. Move my thumb out of the way a little bit. And yeah, you can kind of see how they did it. Not too terribly bad looking for this release. Not bad at all. At least for Hasbro standards. I should preface that. That this is for Hasbro standards, which are not that high to begin with these days. God. At least we have Pro Series, right? Right? Anyway, next up here is Lucifer, the Ends disc, right? Not disc. Why am I saying disc? Dang it. His I'm sorry, his ring, sorry. Getting all confused here. This is of course called the End for Takara, but of course for Hasbro it's called Evo Lucius. So, or no, Endbringer, sorry, it's called Endbringer. And oh god, this thing is bad in terms of how much they gutted this ring. So first and foremost, the ring, all the decals except for this one, this one, this one, and these ones in the middle here are left. All the other ones, gone. Also the gimmick where it would have the limit break gimmick where essentially this part would slam downwards, thus allowing for these parts to all become free spinning. That's all gutted. And yeah, all in all, not that great. Also, it got massively hollowed out as well. So good job, Hasbro. Yay. All right, let's put the chip on this thing. And there you go. Here is Evo Lucius Endbringer, also known as, of course, Lucifer the End. Anyway, move that piece out of the way before I start going on a tangent again. And let's move swiftly into the Forged Disc, which is vertical. Now, why does it have vertical? The original piece was, of course, the Co Forged Disc, which was, of course, especially modified for the limit break system. But what did Hasbro do? Nah, throw in vertical. And vertical isn't even all that good because it came out in 2016 with Wild Wyvern. What are you guys doing? Oh my god. Anyway, moving on to the driver, which is Drift Speedstorm, and oh god, this too is so bad. First and foremost, the free spin tip that surprisingly Evo Lucius has. He actually has on Mobius, his free spin piece. That's been gutted on this one. Why? Also, second, the POM plastic this was made of, also gutted. Why? And last but certainly not least, why is it so tall? God. All right, so putting the pieces onto this husk of a thing. Oh, boy. There you have Evo Lucius Endbringer. Oh, my God. This is just... I gotta go to sleep, but I wish you the best. Sorry, what was that? Oh, why did the chat fade away? Come on, let me see the chat. Please. Yeah, there we go. I wish you the best birthday and best live stream ever. Thank you, Luke Basic, and I appreciate you coming to the stream today. I know I haven't been streaming a lot lately, but trust me, I'm going to start doing that more often, or at least I'm going to try to, now that I just realized, hey, you can stream from mobile. Even if you're, you know, just in the mid-range between 1,000 subs and 50 subs. So, good stuff. So now let's actually move away from the Beyblades themselves into the stadium, which we're actually going to need to move the little display thing, or turntable, out of the way. As a matter of fact, we're not going to need the turntable at all for this video. So here is the stadium. There it is. Massive honker of a thing. So the stadium's actually quite interesting, as it actually has... Let me just move the camera. We actually have, and of course you can see all the fun stuff we got over there. We got the stadium here, and the stadium's actually quite interesting, again, because of the main gimmick, which is what they call the energy zone, which is, of course, this piece right here. So what does this do? Well, there's a switch at the bottom. You can't really see it, but there's a switch at the bottom. You turn it, and the thing turns on. Now, of course, this energy zone can spin in two different directions. Left. And right spin. Now, of course, for this stadium, you need 3 AA batteries in the bottom half underneath of the motor strike sort of energy zone motor piece to get it working. But yeah, really, really cool stadium. I really appreciate this, since this is Hasbro's first and so far only motorized battle stadium that they've ever released, let alone their first and so far only motorized stadium, period. And let me tell you, this thing is just glorious. So yeah, moving the camera back down and trying not to drop the whole tripod I have this placed on. There is that. So moving this big honker out of the way. We also get two standard sparking / surge Speedstorm launchers. Nothing crazy to talk about here. Same stuff that you see in literally every single release, minus dual packs. That's really about it. So, moving on, let's move into, what are we going to do? You know what? Let's just blaze all the way through all the Hasbro stuff I have. So we're going to continue on next with this next set, which is, of course, a dual pack. And we got a bunch of these to go through today. So our first dual pack is going to be this one. This is the Beyblade Burst Search Speedstorm, Odax 06, and Colossal Fafnir F6 set. And I gotta say, this set is actually pretty decent in my opinion, as you get some decent recolors and some decent combos with these. So on the back, of course, as you guys all know, we have all the parts there listed out, all of the stats, all that fun stuff. And as I keep telling you guys all the time, don't bother reading the stats because they literally mean nothing. In other words, they are rubbish. Moving the box out of the way, let's get out the bays themselves. And of course, we're going to go part by part, and we're going to start off with the dual layer Beyblade we get in this release, which is, of course, Obelisk Odin, also known as Omni Odax. And I love this recolor. I think this thing is absolutely beautiful. Love the sort of gold red sort of details to it. Kind of reminds me of ketchup and mustard. That's why I'm going to nickname this layer Ketchup and Mustard Odin / Odax. I love this recolor. I think it's fantastic compared to the original. So really do like this recolor. And also I like the sort of, you can't really see it, there's a bit like a sparkly sort of, sort of molding in the plastic that also, adds to the whole appeal of this piece. So all in all, not bad. And of course on the back you have your QR code, which you can always use to scan into the Beyblade Burst mobile app, which is great. And then, of course, you get the forged disc with this, which is Convert. This originally came out on the, on the Rise release, the standard Rise release for Union Achilles. Convert, Extend, plus Hypersphere. So definitely check out that review if you haven't already for my initial thoughts on this piece, but hey, it's nice. And also on the note of Union Achilles, we should be getting one soon for the Pro Series the Hasbro's doing, so I'm definitely looking forward to picking that up as it looks really, really good. And plus it actually has all the parts to it, and of course it's going to include all the modes, including the Union Blade mode and of course the Speed mode to it, which is awesome. Last up for this particular Beyblade of the 2-pack, we do have the Speedstorm Driver, which is, of course, Survive Speedstorm. Really, really nice piece. Nice sort of red color to it as well. This, I believe Survive initially came out on I believe it actually came out on a random single pack, and I believe it was Brave Ragnarok, I want to say. Could be wrong about that, and I know someone in the comments is going to correct me if I am wrong about that. But there you go. So there you have your full combo there for Obelisk Odin / Omni Odax, or as they call him on the box, Odax 06, which don't be confused. This is not an evolution. It's just a recolor. It's just a naming thing, and it's stupid. But anyway, next up is, of course, the actual sparking layer system release in this 2-pack / random combo. And we're going to start off with, of course, the Super King / Speedstorm chip for this. and looks, or Storm Chip, sorry, which is, of course, Fafnir. And I really do like the design for this. I really do like the sort of purple and red going on as compared to the original sort of like yellow colors that harken back to the original sort of design motif for Fafnir. But still, this purple recolor is not bad at all. So, not too bad. Next up, of course, is again another recolor piece. In this case, this is the King Ring / Colossal. And really, really nice ring this. Of course, this initially came out on Colossal Helios / King Helios. Both the single and the Volt Knockout Battle Set version. And actually, that reminds me, for comparison, let's bring in the original Colossal from that Volt Knockout Battle Set version of Colossal Helios. So here it is. Not too terribly bad in terms of the coloring. Of course, I would have loved for the actual blades to be colored like the original, but hey, it's a recolor. What are you gonna do? And plus, it's not that bad of a recolor. Not that bad at all for a recolor. So, putting my King Helios back together, / Colossal Helios together in the background. There you go. So once you put your chip, into the ring, there you will have your Colossal / King Fafnir. Not bad at all. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to reverse this real quick, as I kind of like it the other way. There you go. As a matter of fact, how does it have it on the box? Yeah, basically like that. So there you go. King Fafnir. Not a bad looking layer at all. Next up, of course, is the Forged Disc / the, the Chassis Disc, which is 1 attack. We've already seen this before with, of course, Super Hyperion, H6. But, yeah, not a bad looking piece at all. I do like the purple it got on it as compared to the original yellow and the Fafnir version, which is green. So, not too terribly bad. Plus, it meshes well with the colors as well. And then, of course, you get the driver, which is, I believe it's Zone, isn't it? I believe that's Zone. Yes, okay, yes, it is. It is Zone Hypersphere. But not Hypersphere, Speedstorm, sorry. This is not the Speedstorm metal version that we've gotten in the past releases, but hey, it's a nice version of the non-Speedstorm metal version. So once you put it all together, there you will have your full combo of King Fafnir. 1 attack, or Zone Speedstorm, 1 attack. Not bad at all. Oh, and then of course you have his mate there. So there you have the dual pack there. Not too bad for a dual pack. Not bad at all. Next up on the list, we have another Speedstorm dual pack. In this case, this is Gigant Gaia, or Giga Gaianon G6, and Mirage Helios H6. So not a bad looking artwork for this. Then, of course, back, standard sort of artwork, design work, and, of course, stats. But there you go. So, moving on from there, of course, we're going to go into a quick part-by-part for the dual-layer version or the dual-layer Beyblade we get in the set. So, we're going to start off with, of course, the recolor of Gigant Gaia, also known as Giga Gaianon, G6. And all in all, not a bad recolor, especially compared to the, the Frost, or what was it called? I forget what it was called. Blizzard X. There we go. Blizzard X Gaianon that we got in the past. So not too bad. I would bring out the original versions, but let's be fair. I think you guys kind of get the idea with these recolors. So I'm not going to bother grabbing them right now. Plus, this video is already going to be long as heck. So might as well cut down the time, right? So that way people actually watch this video. Anyway, stream, replay. So next, of course, we do have the Forged Disc, which is 5. And 5 is not that bad. Not that bad of a disc. Yes, it is from the God Layer system. Of course, it first debuted with Blast Genius. But hey, still not bad. Not bad for a piece from 2017. And then lastly, we get the driver, which is Mrg'S or Merger Speedstorm. And of course, this is not the first time we've seen Mrg'S. It initially came out on Demise slash Death Devolos. Demise Devolos slash, what is it, Death Diabolos. D6, I believe. Yeah. So not too terribly bad. Again, very nice silver. No rubber, of course. But hey, what you gonna do, right? Not a bad combo. Oh, and also it's ludicrously tall. Jeez. And then next, of course, we do have our Speedstorm slash Surge slash Sparking release. And of course, we're going to start off quickly with the Storm chip slash Super King chip, which is, of course, the original Helios 1. Not a bad recolor, gotta admit. I do like the sort of inverted colors somewhat. The only difference being, of course, this shining gold there, and the sort of white face and the orange eye and the sort of red flames. Not too bad. And then, of course, for comparison, let's bring in the original Surge Speedstorm Volt Knockout battle set version of King Helios slash Colossal Helios. So all in all, not bad. Not bad at all. Excuse me, just had to burp off camera. How rude of me. Anyway, next we do get the ring, of course, as you would expect. And in this case, it is Mirage. But in this case, it's a recolor. And it's not that bad of a recolor. Not only that, but they actually painted the dragon eyes on it. Good for you, Hasbro. You're growing. You're learning. Do more of this, please, of actually painting the stuff properly. Oh, not only that, but this actually has the rubber on it. You guys can't feel, obviously, through the camera, but there is real rubber in this. So it's going to spin steel real nicely. So, of course, putting the chip into the layer, there you have your Mirage Helios all together. Not a bad recolor at all. Love this sort of blue on red color. Very, very appealing. At least in my opinion. Then, of course, we have the forged disc, which is Wheel. Obviously, I've done a review on Wheel before and given my initial thoughts on it in my review of the Beyblade Burst Surge starter release, Glide Rockdivore / Glide Ragnarok R6, my first ever Surge Speedstorm Bay ever that I've obtained. But yeah, not a bad piece, Wheel. Not bad at all. Then lastly, we get the driver, which is, of course, Speedstorm. Not a bad piece. Of course, we first got this with Mirage Fafnir F6, but still, not a bad recolor, even if it is just a slightly brighter, dulled out gold. So, well, actually, no, the original, I believe, was orange. So yeah, this is actually more accurate to the original Takara release for Fafnir, Mirage Fafnir. But hey, what are you gonna do? So putting the Beyblade all together. There you have them. Mirage Helios. Make fun of Fafnir. And can people stop texting me? Anyway, so here you have both bays from the dual pack in here. Very, very nice. And of course, my Outlook is getting emails as well. Can people stop emailing me? I am not exactly in the position to be getting texts and calls right now. Now is not the time. So anyway, let's quickly brace through the next couple Hasbro dual packs. So, of course, next up is this one's from the Rise generation. We're going backwards a bit. To Rise / Beyblade Burst GT, Gatinko. In this case, this is Behemoth Cyclops C5 and Shield Kirbyus K5. Obviously, you're getting this set, for Shield Kirbyus K5, which is absolutely stunning, and stupid notifications. Anyway, so turning this around, and can people stop emailing me? Anyway, we have, of course, our parts, stats, all that good stuff. throw in the box over there. Let's get into the part by part real quick, which is, of course, we're going to start off with the layer, the Cho-Z layer, because, of course, this is from Cho-Z / Beyblade Burst Turbo. This is Behemoth Cyclops C5, I believe. Yes. Very, very nice recolor. Kind of reminds me of my Switch a little bit in terms of, at least in terms of the right Joy-Con colors with the black and the red and sort of the, but breaking it up, of course, with this sort of like pearly white, almost like a doled out, clear, translucent white, almost like an ivory, and the dark sort of dull gray. So very, very nice design. Oh, of course, that little peak of blue for the eye. Not bad at all. And of course, on the back, you do have your QR code, so you can scan the Beyblade into the Beyblade Burst mobile app. And then, of course, we have the forged disc for this release, which, of course, is, once again, Convert. So, I'm not going to talk too much about that. Let's put those over here. And lastly, we get the driver. And I don't know why, but right now I'm blanking on the name of this driver. So I'm going to quickly go on my computer real quick and quickly Google the name, as I always forget the name of this particular part. It's annoying me that I can't remember it offhand. Really annoying me. Okay, so let us see. Okay, shut up. Email. Okay. So. Valor, geez, Valor Hypersphere, there's the name, Valor Hypersphere. This initially came out on Cosmo Kraken, or Cosmic Kraken, and not a bad piece, and I love this white. I don't know why, but this white looks beautiful on this. And of course, you have the little symbol up top for Valor, this little V with a star on it. Not to be confused with Valkyrie, of course. But there you go. So there you have your full combo, and my god, is he a tall boy. But there you have it. So, of course, now we're going to get into the Beyblades you're really buying this set for, which is, of course, Shield Kirbyus. And we're going to go part by part, starting off with the GT chip / Katinko chip, if I can get it out of here, which is, of course, Kirbyus K5. And this is a really, really nice piece. Love this new design for Kirbyus. And something else about this design, Shield Kirbyus, is that he is a Hasbro exclusive design. You can't get him anywhere else. You can only get him through Hasbro. Only through Hasbro can you get this piece. So kudos to Hasbro for actually giving an evolution to a Beyblade that, quite frankly, gets neglected a lot these days. For a quick comparison, let's bring in his previous evolution. Hazard Kirbyus from Beyblade Burst Cho-Z / Beyblade Burst Turbo. So there that is. And now we'll go grab his recolor version from the Master Kirbyus release. So you can see green and yellow Hellhounds. Not bad at all. Not bad. Little piece. Now let's get into the next part, which is, of course, the GT layer base, which is Shield. And Shield looks really nice, even though it kind of looks like a turtle shell with a bunch of chains on it. But still, a very, very nice design. Of course, we would get this piece later with the Shield Kraken release. But in that sort of blue and it's almost like a copper color for the chains. But yeah, really, really nice recolor. I love these silver chains. They look absolutely fantastic. Even if they only go over small parts of the top and don't actually go towards the bottom. And the bottom is super hollowed out for this release too. So putting the pieces together there you have your Shield Kirbyus layer. Absolutely fantastic. Then, of course, you get your forged disc, which is Infinity. For some reason, they put Infinity on this. Don't know why, but they did. This initially came out on 2016 Zillion Zeus, but hey, not a bad piece overall. Not bad. Then lastly, you get the driver, and I believe this is liner. I might be wrong about that. I'm going to quickly double check to make sure that's right, because I could be wrong on that. So real quickly, of course, I have the Beyblade Wiki on my computer off to the side, just in case. Yep, it is liner, or as they call it now, linear Hypersphere. And of course, this isn't the first time we saw this Beyblade part. I believe we saw this in a Dullahan re-release. But yeah, not bad at all, this piece. Not bad. And please do ignore my text sounds in the background. I really do apologize about that. I wish I could go and fix that, but I might end up closing the stream, so bear with me. But yeah, really, really nice stuff. Okay, get that text out of here. Pop this together. And there, of course, you have your shield, Kirbyus. Not bad at all. And then you have your behemoth.
This is a
Cyclops.
reminder. Michael, please check the mail. Thank you.
Diarrhea? Okay. I'm not going to be able to make this stream, will I? Why does everything have to happen to me during the middle of a stream? Deep breaths. Anyway, so let's crack on then, shall we? With the next dual pack. In this case, this is the Beyblade Burst Surge Slingshot and Hypersphere crossover dual pack. Oh boy. Most ambitious crossover since Smash Brothers. Jeez. Sphinx S4. And I joke when I say that. That's a joke, obviously. But anyway, and then with this, also in this set, you get Eclipse Evo Devilos D5. Oh boy, what a cluster of a name, right? Of course, on the back, standard information, stats, Beyblade types, all that fun stuff. Get out of here. Anyway, I don't know why I decided to put an accent on that. But let's again go with the Slingshot release slash Cho-Z release. Turbo. You know what I mean? We're going to go part by part with that. And of course, we're going to start off with the layer, which is, of course, Sphinx. And this is really nice. Originally called Sphinx S4, of course. Really, really nice layer, this. One of my favorite Hasbro exclusive original designs. And of course, we would later get an evolution of this in the form of Solar Sphinx. But yeah, I love this recolor. It's almost like a minty color with this deep chocolate brown. This sort of almost like a lavender pink. Sort of this blue and the red for the Sphinx eyes and the sort of S there. Oh, so nice. So nice. Don't get me wrong, the original too looks really cool, but this recolor is fantastic. And I believe this is the only Sphinx recolor we might ever see, because if you guys didn't know, Beyblade Burst is coming to an end soon. Believe it or not, it's actually coming to an end. With Takara's Beyblade Burst Ultimate, and of course, whatever Hasbro is going to do for that, and of course, the current wave for Hasbro Beyblade Burst Quad Drive. So, yeah, believe it or not, Beyblade Burst is coming to an end. Sad times we live in, House Beyblade fans. But anyway, next up we have, of course, our rather interesting Force Disc, which is, of course, Blitz. But in this case, this is the Hypersphere modified version. So if you want my initial thoughts on that, go check out my Sword Valtryek review. Because let me tell you, I definitely rip on this piece because let me tell you, it's bad. It's bad. Next up, we have the driver, which is Keeper Slingshot. So this is the modified version of Keep. I believe it does actually have the rubber, which kudos to Hasbro for actually putting in the effort and putting in the proper material there. And then, of course, it is a Slingshot Driver. So how it works is that there's little slots on the inside of the driver. I'm pretty sure the camera's not picking this up. But you line up the little pegs with the slot there. And then you just pull it up and twist. And there you have it in the Slingshot mode. To unslingshot it, you just pull it, twist it again. And then just kind of relock it back down a little by twisting it, and so that way the little pegs don't line up with the little grooves at the bottom of the driver. And there you have your standard Keeper driver. And then here you have the full combo. Very, very nice design. Love the colors on this. And as a matter of fact, I would love to see them do a Solar Sphinx release with a random combo like this one. But the only difference being, of course, putting it in these colors. I think that could look really cool. Or maybe do an invert of the colors. I don't know. Either way, I want to see another Sphinx with those colors, because let me tell you, I love those colors for some reason. Don't ask why, I just do. They shouldn't work, but for some reason, they really do for me. They really do it for me. Sorry. So next up, of course, we have our next Hypersphere release, which is, of course, the very long-winded name of, and I just forgot the name, probably shouldn't put the box where I did. Eclipse Evo Devilos. Oh boy. So, for this Beyblade, of course, we have the GT chip / Katinko chip, which is Diabolos 2 / Devilos 2. Not a bad looking piece. Of course, this piece originally comes from the Master Diabolos / Master Devilos release. And all in all, I love the colors on this. The sort of black, silver, and red. I know the camera's having a hard time picking it up, but let me tell you, in person, it looks pretty friggin' sweet. And then, of course, on the back, you have your QR code to scan the bay into the mobile app. And next we get the layer base, which is interesting because this is the Big Bang layer base, or in this case, Genesis 2, I guess you could call it, right? Very interesting piece, this. As, yeah, this originally came out on the Big Bang Genesis release / Eclipse Genesis, because for some reason they couldn't use the term Big Bang for some reason. But yeah, very, very nice layer base. Unfortunately, the Big Bang armor does not come off on this release. Not only that, but it's been pretty hollowed out. But still, I do like the colors for this. Not to mention, this does look pretty intimidating, at least in my opinion. So not a bad recolor by any means. Just a very interesting choice of parts, especially with the naming. So next up, we do have the disc, which is 8-. Of course, we initially saw this on the Chosi release Geist Fafnir. But still, very nice piece regardless. And then lastly, we have the driver, which I believe is, and I can't really see the name there, but I'm pretty sure this is Rise Hypersphere, or Riser, however they call it, Rise Hypersphere. Very nice black recolor of this. Of course, we initially saw this with Wizard Fafnir in orange, but still not a bad recolor by any means. Putting the bay together, there is your full combo. What a beefcake. So there you go. Nice little dual pack there. We're cracking these dual packs fast, people. We got one more of these, and then we got a couple more packs, and one of which being, oddly enough, a couple of knockoff Beyblades that we'll take a quick look and a quick laugh at, you know? So, and before we get into those knockoffs, I should mention that I understand that most people can't afford actual Beyblades. I understand, especially in this pressing time. I understand that for some Beyblade fans out there in the comment section, it's hard for you to get real Beyblades. But, of course, to those who can afford them, like myself, obviously, please make sure to look for official Beyblade merch. Buy from Takara and Hasbro. Please avoid these knockoff peddlers because, from what I've heard online, some of these knockoffs actually have toxic materials in them that, of course, could give you a pretty nasty infection, let alone disease, if you, of course, ingest that material. And what material am I talking about? I'm talking about like lead and stuff have been found in some of these knockoffs. So please, guys, avoid knockoffs if you can. And that, or wait for a discount. Wait for a discount if you can. Don't buy this. Don't buy the knockoffs. Please, for the love of God, don't buy the knockoffs. So, if you can, of course, if you but like I just said, I understand if you buy them because, you're tight on cash. I understand that. But just be warned that some of that stuff does contain lead in them. So obviously when I handle these ones in a moment, I'm actually going to put some gloves on because I don't want to get lead poisoning or anything. Good God. That's the last thing I need on my birthday of all things. So, Beyblade Burst Search Speedstorm Dual Pack. This is our last one for dual packs anyway. This is the Slingshot and Hypersphere Dual Pack, and good God, I guess the Hulk must have shipped this to me. Wraith Drigger F and Zone Balkesh B5. So, of course, this one's the Slingshot, this one's the Hypersphere. Get it? Good. On the back, standard stuff, standard information. You guys know the drill by now. Then, of course, we're going to go part by part. Starting with, of course, almost said of course, like I have a British accent all of a sudden? We have the layer, which is, of course, Wraith Drigger F. And I love this Beyblade piece. Specifically, in terms of the vein of design, which is, it's obviously based on the Plastic Generation Drigger Fang / Drigger F. And I love this design. Very nice sort of motif with the sort of tiger design going on. And of course, in the middle, you have your bit chip design, which of course represents the Drigger motif. So very nicely done. Of course, very hard to see because the camera refuses to pick it up properly. But there you go. On the back, standard QR code stuff to scan it into the mobile app. And of course, moving that off to the side here. We have the forged disc, which is 2. Very nice piece, although this is, of course, dated, as this dates back all the way to, I want to say, Christ Satan. Yeah, Christ Satan from 2017. 2017's God Layer system, so pretty outdated these days. And then, of course, we get the Slingshot Driver, which is fusion / fusional Slingshot. How to activate the Slingshot gimmick is, of course, you have this little free rotating piece at the top. Twist it. It will make a audible and, sensational, like you'll feel a clicking sensation when you do it. Pull it up, twist it some more, and it should lock into place. Mine, for some reason, doesn't lock. I don't remember if it locks or not. It should. But anyway, there is the Slingshot mode. To unslingshot it, twist it backwards. It should unclick, and then you just twist it back and click it into place again. So all in all, very, very nice piece. Of course, putting Wraith Drigger Fang in all together, very, very nice motif. Love the sort of black design going on. As let me tell you, any Beyblade that you color black and maybe have some speckle of gold on it or something, you automatically got a winner, okay? Because let's be honest, who in the audience here doesn't think this looks just rad as all heck? But anyway, moving right along, we will move into, of course, our Hypersphere / GT Gatinko Beyblade combo. And this is a rather interesting one because this one is actually based on a WBBA store exclusive random sort of single release booster. Here we have the chip for this one, which is of course Bahamut. In this case, this is Bahamut. I believe this is the second one. Yes, the second Bahamut. Very, very nice piece. I do like the sort of pink, red, and gold on it. Looks really, really nice. Of course, on the back, standard QR code. Scan that to put it into the mobile app. Next up here, you have your layer base, which is, of course, Zone / Zwei, and that's spelled Z-W-E-Y. Not Y, I. Zwei. Basically German for 2, right? Which obviously is referring to the 2 dragon heads on the layer base. Very nice colors for it. I do like the sort of like purple, lavender, red, and gold, as these colors shouldn't work combined. But for me, this works. This absolutely works. Kind of oddly reminds me of peanut butter and jelly. I don't know why, but it reminds me of that for some reason. So I guess you could technically call this Beyblade the peanut butter jelly Bahamut. I don't know. But still, very, very nice colors this release. Not bad at all. I know I've been saying that a lot this video, but you get the idea. I'm loving some of these colors, despite the fact that some of these recolors really shouldn't work. Next up is the Forge Disc, which is, of course, Python. Python was first seen with Viper Hydrax. Trust me, the Beyblade isn't nearly as cool as the name would suggest, at least in my opinion. But of course, I know there are some people who absolutely love Viper Hydrax's design, so more power to you. So there you go. So there is the Python disc. So go watch that video with Viper Hydrax. I believe he was in a dual pack for my full thoughts on that particular release, and of course the Viper Forge disc it came with. Lastly, we get the driver, which is of course Destroy or Destroyer Hypersphere. Not bad at all. I do like the red on it for this one. This initially came out, I believe, on, oh god, I believe I'm thinking Knockout Odin, also known as Myth Odax, where it came out in blue. Now, of course, it's in red. So, not bad. Not bad for a dual pack there. Let me let you get the trigger that it came with. So there you go. Ding, ding. There's the last dual pack that we have for review today. But, of course, that's not all that we got. We got some more for you guys. As I said. And in this case, we're going to do our very last Hasbro set that I have for you guys today. Which is, again, another sort of throwback review or release. In this case, this is the Elite Champions, at least what it's called, right? No, Elite Warrior 4-pack. Here's the box for it. So, of course, in this release, this was a sort of one-off sort of gift set release in the 2017 Switch Strike, release wave, generation, system, you name it, right? We do have the Beyblades listed there, of course. Drasil S, Drasil Shield, Dronzer S, Dronzer Spiral, Excalius X2, also known as Xeno Excalius or Xeno Excalibur, and Genesis Valtryek V3, also known as God Valkyrie V3. Well, give or take. But yeah, so the box is very nice. Of course, you have your standard box affair to it. With the sort of motifs going on, the sort of artwork of all the Beyblades that you get in the set. And of course, on the back, you get a really nice look at what you get in the box, and you get quite a bit. And all of these are recolors. I should mention that. All of these are recolors. All of them. None of these are original combos. None of these are new. These are all original, or these are all older releases, but now just given a fresh coat of paint. Believe it or not. Well, actually, Dronzer S actually is a new combo, as he didn't have Liner in his original release. My mistake. But yeah, all the other ones, minus, of course, Dronzer S's driver, all old stuff, just given a new fresh coat of paint and thrown into this pack. So moving the box out of the way, let's move swiftly in, and we're actually going to go in order from, let's see. Let's go in order from the artwork, which is from, right to left. Yeah, we're going to go right to left here. So let me just quickly get these in order here. So first up, of course, is Genesis Valtryek, also known as God Valkyrie. You guys have seen this Beyblade many, many times. But of course, we're going to go into the part by part anyway for this particular release. So, oh god, and why won't the frame come off? There it goes. So first up, we have the God Layer, which is, of course, Valtryek V3, also known as God Valkyrie, right? Or Genesis Valtryek V3. Not a bad piece. Again, the only real difference with the colors is that I believe they are brighter in the middle, and that the blades are darkened a little. That's literally it. Still has the bound gimmick, where the spring makes the wings do a double strike, do a bound layer gimmick. And of course, on the back of the God chip, which of course is not removable for the Hasbro releases, there is a QR code on the back. So of course, you can scan this into your Beyblade Burst mobile app. Next up, we get the disc and frame, which are 6 Vortex. You guys should probably know my thoughts on these parts by now. So I'm not going to go into them in this video, but still nice pieces regardless. And then I actually put that in wrong. Hold on. There we go. Now that's in there proper. So there you have that. And lastly, you get your Reboot Driver. Same gimmick as we've all seen with Reboot, where the tip comes out with the weights on the side make the small tip come out right early in battle, but as it slows down, the tip retracts, thus revealing the star-shaped tip, making the Beyblade more aggressive. Slapping the combo all together and actually making sure the wings are all lined up. There we go. There you have your Genesis Valtryek V3, also known as God Valkyrie. Cool stuff. Next up here, you get Xeno Excalius, which is so this is a dual layer Beyblade, also known as Xeno Excalibur, of course, with the car release. But yeah, I love the colors on this one. So of course we're gonna go part by part with this one. There's only 3 parts in it, but first up is the layer, which is of course Xeno Excalibur / Xeno Excalius. Not a bad recolor. I do like the sort of gold, blue, sort of purple on the swords, ruby for the hilt, and the sort of design going down for the sword. Very, very nice design. And this actually, in some areas, references the original Takara Tomy version, which is awesome. So good for you, Hasbro, and actually making the Beyblades look like their original Takara counterparts. And then, of course, on the back, you do have your QR code, which, of course, you can always scan to put into your Beyblade Burst app. Which I should mention that when you scan the QR codes, make sure to scan them through the Beyblade Burst app. Don't just use your QR code scanner because it's not going to work. So, but then again, I don't think I really need to tell you guys that, because if you're watching this video, you probably already know how it works for Hasbro. So next up here, we do have the Magnum Forge Disc, which I do quite like. Like the red sort of plastic with the metal there. Very, very nice. And of course, with the layer, it does work as a sort of double strike gimmick, where essentially when the Beyblade clicks twice, and if you line it up properly, the points will all line up with the layer, thus allowing for stronger attack power during the end stages of a Beyblade battle, which is awesome. And then next up, you do get the driver, which is, of course, Impact. Very nice blue with the black rubber. And, of course, the whole gimmick is, of course, that there's the rubber there, and that allows for increased attack during battle. Not only that, but also because it wears down, the plastic can become more prominent, and I guess you could get stronger attacks that way as well? Not too sure. But still, Impact, nice driver, along with Magnum, and of course the layer itself, but still, not a bad combo by any means. Next up here, we do have the Plastic Gen remakes. In this case, first up, we have Dronzer S, also known as Dronzer Spiral. Really do like the colors on this one, with the sort of red fading, yellow fading into the red, fading into the yellow, and the sort of phoenix motif you got for the what is it called, the bit chip, I believe is what that was called, or the bit beast chip. I forget what they called that, but yeah, really cool looking layer there. And of course, on the back, you do have the QR code to scan this Beyblade into your Beyblade Burst app, as always. I don't know why I keep putting it to my right. I should be putting it to my left, as always. Next up here is the Forge Disc, which is, of course, spread. This piece dates back to 2015's Spriggan Spread Fusion. So, yeah, kind of really dated piece nowadays. But back in 2017, not that dated at all. Only dated by 2 years at the time. Next up here, we do have the driver, which is liner. And it's in this nice sort of it almost looks pea green on the camera. It almost looks like the color of those, whatchamacallit, those, what do you call them? The St. Patrick's Day, like McDonald's, what are they, smoothies, lattes? I don't remember. Kind of looks like that sort of green color. Very nice color, actually. So once you put the Beyblade together, there you'll have your Dronzer Spiral. Not a bad combo at all. And I believe the slopes are actually stronger on this release compared to the original, which was so bad I actually had to modify mine via super glue to actually make it usable in battle. I know that for some of you that's a bit, I know that's a bit just crazy. That's not crazy, but it's not exactly the most it's frowned upon, right, in the community to do that because, of course, that defeats the whole point of customization and whatnot. But, like, at this point, who really cares, right? And I can't believe this review is going almost an hour long. Jeez, told you guys this was going to be an extravaganza. So next up here, we have the Dracil S remake, also known as Dracil Shield. Of course, whilst we're at it, let's take a look at the layer real quick. Very nice design. The only difference is that for this one, some of the decals are removed on this one. Very strange release, as the original had not all the decals, but it had like orange here. But for this one, the orange has been gutted, but the M's are there. What the heck, Hasbro? But anyway, there you have that. On the back, you do have your QR code to scan this bay into the mobile app. Next up, we do have the Central Forge disc. Not a bad disc. I believe this disc originally came out with the 2015 Burst System release of Kirby's. Central Defense, I believe it was called. So not bad. And then lastly, we get the driver, which is, of course, Press. And Press originally came out on Kaiser/King Kirby's. And all in all, not a bad piece. I do kind of like the sort of claw designs on it, and I do like this almost lavender, almost like a grape purple design to it. Almost like a Prince purple even. But once you put it all together, there you have your combo there. And now, of course, we'll line up all the Beyblades that we got in this 4-pack by, I guess, generation, maybe? So all in all, not a bad 4-pack. Not a bad 4-pack for 2017's Evolution, aka Beyblade vs. God, releases for Hasbro. Back when Hasbro was actually, good. But anyway, next up, before we get to the knockoffs, we do have a Takara Tomy release. In this case, this is a Sparking release, and this is my third ever Sparking Bay I own in my collection. Yeah, kind of sad. But anyway, this is Jet Wyvern, around just one defense. Really, really cool release, as this Beyblade was sort of a surprise reveal by Takara Tomy, as at the time, Wyvern had not seen an evolution since 2017's Beyblade Burst God Layer system with Tornado Wyvern, also known as Tempest Wyvern for the Hasbro fans. So yeah, it's about time this guy got a release, got a new version, and we got one last year for the... No, actually, we got it back in, what was it, 2020, right? Yeah, 2020, sorry. So yeah, really nice release this one. So moving back here, we do have some of the parts there for this. So of course we have the Storm chip / Sparking chip, which is of course Wyvern. And we do have the ring there. We do have the chassis, single chassis, the forged disc, and of course our driver on the back. Some combos, a little bit of a caption here showing off the gimmick, which we are going to talk about that, as I do actually really like the gimmick, as it's a carryover from Tornado Wyvern, but they actually improved it, surprisingly. They actually improved it. So good on you, Hasbro. I'm sorry, Takara, not Hasbro, because Hasbro got it, I believe, no, they didn't got the gimmick. They just modified it for the Hasbro release to not be, as good as this particular version. So now breaking the Beyblade down part by part, and this Beyblade is almost impossible to get apart because, good God, the pieces stick on this particular Beyblade, but that's just because it's new. That's why. Once I start using it, the pieces should start loosening up a little bit. So first off, let's move into the chip, the Storm chip slash Super King chip, which is, of course, Wyvern. I believe this is, what is it? I believe this is 3, actually. No, this is actually 4 because we had Wyvern, Wild Wyvern, Tornado Wyvern. So yeah, this is 4. This is the 4th Wyvern revision. Not bad at all. I do like the sort of W's going on for the back of the dragon heads. Somewhat look like either flames or wings. And I also like that the dragon like head or eyebrow sort of designs are like lightning bolts. That's a really cool motif, in my opinion. Really, really nice one there. And then, of course, you have the green insert in here, which let's go ahead and remove that. And it's kind of sticking in there. Kind of got to wiggle it out of there. There that is. Very, very nice colors on that, with the sort of green with a little bit of gold. Of course, getting this piece in here is a royal pain. Click that back in. There you go. So there you have your chip. Now we'll move into the ring, which is Jet. And Jet looks fantastic. Compared to Tornado Wyvern, which as a matter of fact, let's bring him in, Tornado Wyvern, or Tempest Wyvern. You can kind of see the sort of idea here, right? Because right off the bat, you'll see, yeah, this is going to move, isn't it? Yep, that does indeed move. But in this case, it moves backwards as compared to the original, which can move both forward and backward. But here's why it can only move free spinning in this direction, because if you see, when I try to push it the other way, it sort of locks in. It doesn't move. That is because of the gimmick on Jet. Because Jet has, again, the free spinning part, but there's a lock inside, a locking mechanism that prevents the wheel here, the free spinning sort of plastic piece, from being rotated by a left spin Beyblade, which also ties into Jet's next gimmick, which is the fact that the clear pieces, the clear translucent parts that the light's going through right now, that is rubber. Believe it or not, that is rubber on this release, which is fantastic. So this Beyblade can actually spin steal a little bit from opposing Beyblades, which is really, really cool. So of course, snapping this all in, there you have your layer, or at least the top half of the layer, for Jet Wyvern. Really, really cool release. And it's awesome to finally have a brand new Wyvern release. And hopefully we get another one for the last season of Beyblade Burst, which is rumored to be called Beyblade Burst Ultimate. So looking forward to that this year. Next up here, we do have the single chassis, which is, of course, One Defense. And One Defense is quite a nice piece. We initially got it on Curse Satan from the random booster early on. I forget which number right now. But yeah, what's nice about single chassis as compared to double chassis, real quick, let me get a double chassis for you. In this case, I'm going to be using King Helios's, One Balance chassis, double chassis. Here that is. You can see right away the chassis is significantly smaller. Not only that, but you can actually use other burst system forge discs with this chassis. Unlike a double chassis where the forge disc and any other sort of disc attachment is built all into one, right? Into one piece. Which is both a good thing but also a bad thing, because that to me that, at least for me, significantly takes away some of the disc customization. But hey, that's what single chassis are for, right? So just to install that in, very simple. You just line it up with the slots and the grooves in the layer top part, and then you just push down and locks into place. And now you have your full layer of Jet Wyvern. Very nice piece. Now we get the forge disc, which is of course a round. In this case, it's in a very nice lavender sort of purple color. With the sort of lavender, right? The metal balls. And yeah, we initially saw a round on I believe on Flare Dragon, I believe. But in this case, now we got it in this release, which is fantastic. And I do like the sort of purple going on with this as well. Of course, the main gimmick is that, of course, the metal balls allow it to basically, parry attacks from other Beyblades, attacking it from the disc area, which is fantastic. Love that gimmick. Even if it doesn't work all the time, because most of the time Beyblades don't even hit each other there. But anyway, lastly, we have the driver, which is called Just. Yep, that's all it's called, Just. Exactly how you think it would be spelled. Just is the name of the driver. And the gimmick is, of course, the free spinning ring, which is supposed to help it recover spins. That way, when it gets knocked over, it can kind of roll on this ring and regain its balance. So putting the whole combo together, and it is a bit tough to go together because there's so many free spinning pieces on this release, but you can get it together if you just do it the right way. Because there is a method to do it. There you go. So there you have Jet Wyvern all together. The free spinning dragon himself. Love this Beyblade. And for comparison, here's the past Wyvern evolution, Tornado Wyvern. Yeah, you see where this guy got his beefcake sort of design? Yeah, you thought this guy was a beefcake. Oh, that's a monstrosity. So there you go. There you have that. And now let's move in to the knockoff Beyblades. And these actually came, let me move the parts out of the way real quick. This actually came in a very nice, somewhat lunchbox sort of case. Like this. And this is the company, Elfnico, a whirlwind gyro, they call it. Some assembly request, no tools needed. Includes 2 burst spinning tops, 2 power launchers, 1 power grip, and 1 page instruction. Made in China, age 8+. Gotta love it. On the back, of course, a bunch of warning. Manufacturer, Shantou Diong Toys. What? But I thought it was made by Elfnico. What a hoax. Anyway, opening this thing up. Of course, inside you would get your parts and stuff in here in plastic baggies, as you would expect from knockoffs. But let's take a look real quick at the instructions. Oh boy, it's gonna laugh at these. Metal assembled gyro. That toy doesn't sound familiar. And also, why are they using the Chozy Valkyrie layer? And it has Zenith, but it's using Fusion or Excel for the what? Okay. Made in China, of course. Ages 8+, and oh god, what is that font? Also, too many gosh darn fonts with this instruction booklet. Jesus. Of course, you got the pieces there. Assembly. Oh boy. Why are they using the metal fight launchers? Oh boy. Complete. The positions of the 2 alignment points are staggered. Oh my god. Of course, it has loading gyro, launching. Oh my god. All right. So, moving past that bucket of laughs, let's move on to the actual Beyblades themselves. And oh boy, get ready to bust your guts at these things. So first up, we have I don't even know if this is even Legend Spriggan. Is this Legend Spriggan? I don't know, man. Kind of looks nice, I guess. I mean, I have the official Hasbro versions. Don't yet have the Takara versions, of course, because, oh boy. But yeah, there's so much wrong with this. Let's go part by part, I guess. And we're gonna, oh god, this thing is, it feels weird. Oh, I gotta get my gloves too, forgot. Need to get my gloves because, god forbid, I get lead poisoning. That would be bad. So, let me get my gloves on real quick. Or these knockoffs. No, I'm pretty sure these ones don't have the lead in them. They shouldn't, but just to be safe, got some gloves on. Just so that I just for safety reasons. You know? Ugh. So first up we have our layer here, which is of course Legend Spriggan, and oh boy, this thing is interesting. Do you like the stickers on it, even though the stickers are super cheapo, and I bet they'll flake off at the drop of a hat. The paint's okay. The chip looks a bit not great. I believe this one does have the mode change, so let's go ahead and use the launcher real quick. And by the way, here are the knockoff launchers. They are left and right launchers, and they are based on I believe, the Legend Spriggan left and right launcher that comes with that, along with the Spriggan Requiem one. And oh boy, these are just cheap as all heck. They feel like they're gonna fall apart at the drop of a hat. I'm not even gonna try to launch Beyblades off of this. It's probably gonna go flying off into somewhere else in the room. Yeah, oh boy. These do not feel good at all. And the stickers are already peeling off. Look, there's only one peeling off. Jeez. But yeah, so using the piece here, we're going to see if we can engage a mode change. Let's see if it actually does it. If it actually does the mode change, I will be shocked. Oh yeah, it mode changes, but it's really tight. Oh boy. Way tighter than any Hasbro or Takara release out of the box would ever be. Oh god. Oh geez, you practically have to tear it apart just to do the mode change. Come on, dude. Just let me change the mode. Oh my god. Just let me do it. Come on. Come on. God, you have to have the force of you have to have the hands of the, you have to have like the strength of the Hulk to get this thing to change modes. All right, you know what? We're not going to try changing modes anymore because clearly that's not working. So yeah, this thing technically has the left and right spin. So moving away from that, oh jeez. Oh, and also at the back, you gotta love the Phillips head screws. Boy, unlike official Hasbro stuff. Takara stuff, which uses specialized screws, so that way you can't open up the parts, or at least easily anyway. Next up, you have the 7-disc, and oh god, the molding on this is horrible. You can barely tell that there's a 7 there. It almost looks like a 1. Ugh. And oh god, the molding is so gross. Oh, I hate it. Next up is, of course, the driver. Oh god. This is supposed to be Mrg'S, but what is this? Like cough medicine red. And it has no rubber, but it has the design of it. It's almost like a Hasbro design almost. Oh my god. Putting this thing together. Let's see if this thing even goes together. Oh boy. Oh god. Come on. Come on. Kinda. Ooh, the clicks. Listen to the clicks, guys. Oh, those clicks sound so cheap. Oh, boy. So there you have Legend Spriggan. Not really. Okay. Moving away from that, we have... oh, we also get a launcher grip with this set. Did I mention you get a launcher grip? You get a launcher grip, and it is cheapo. Cheapo like the rest of it. Next up is Spriggan Requiem. Oh, God. Oh, I don't like this at all. God. So here is Spriggan Requiem. Oh, God, look at the paint on this. I will admit the paint is decent. I'll give them that much. At least the paint is decent. Not great, but decent. It does surprisingly have the rubber, although the rubber is way tougher than it is on Hasbro or Takara Tomi's release. The metal chip in the middle, I don't know why I can't speak today, is also chipped right out of the box. So thanks a lot, guys. It also has Phillips head screws on the back, so that's great. You do get left and right rotations on this, the mode changes, which let's see if I can even engage this one. Let's see. Oh, there you go. I got it. Turn it and then click it into place. So now you can do your left and right spin rotations. So that's great. You get your forged disc, which is of course 0, and you know what? The molding on this is not bad. I'll give the knockoff peddlers that much. At least the molding is not that bad. Yeah, it's nowhere near Takara Tomy or Hasbro's molding, which is absolutely fantastic, but it's good enough. It's good enough. Next up, we have the driver, which is Zeta, but this one is super hard to do the modes on. You gotta really yank on the tip to change the mode here. And switching the modes is not pleasant as it sticks and it clicks and it's horrible. Putting it all together, let's see if this thing even goes together properly. Literally, there's no clicks. No clicks whatsoever. I don't even know if this thing's even together right. Is it even together? Oh, no wonder. It actually, it's so cheap. It's actually taking the whole locking mechanism with it. Oh, you've got to be joking. Wow. Okay, it's taking the whole thing with it. So I guess I got to relock it again. Can it just stay together? That's all I wanted to do. It's just work. There it goes. Listen to the clicks, guys. Man, those clicks are cheap. So with that, guys, that's going to be it for my Beyblade Burst Review Extravaganza. Thank you guys for joining me on my 20th birthday. As you know, I do have some other stuff planned for today. Of course, I am going to be eating me some cake today. Probably going to go get me some new games on my Nintendo Switch, actually. Excuse me. Through, of course, the online storefronts and whatnot, and maybe pick up some last-minute purchases on 3DS because God knows 3DS is it's against the clock right now for getting 3DS stuff. Because if you guys didn't know, 3DS and Wii U eShops are actually going to be going down in March of next year. So get your games now while you can, people. Jeez. I feel really bad, especially for those who just got a 3DS. Yeah, good luck trying to pick up games for that thing. Oh, God. And let alone physical games. But anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Later, Raid Squad, and have a good one.